Well, thank you for waiting. I do apologise for keeping you waiting. We had a sudden shortage of a panel member and we've had to bring in an emergency substitute. Just to introduce this, my name is Councillor Mark Googe and I'll be chairing the panel this morning. Alongside me I have Councillor Liz Thurier and Councillor Nicola Morris, who will be helping to make the decision. On my left we have Jenny Ager, who is our legal officer, and over on the far end there is Tom Phelan from Worcestershire Regulatory Services, who will be presenting the report. And then behind me we have Mel Harris, who is our clerk for the meeting and will be keeping notes, making everything ready. So, moving on to that, Mel, do we have any apologies for absence?
Thank you. We have apologies from Councillor Clatworthy, for whom Councillor Thurier is substituting.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest? No. Okay. Draw your attention to the licensing subcommittee hearing procedure note, which I hope you are all by now fully familiar with. And so that's over to Tom then, if you can introduce the next item on the agenda, please.
Thank you, Chair. Members are asked to consider and determine an application for the variation of a premises licence in respect of the premises Ulster Road Filling Station, Ulster Road, Kingston, Flavel, WR7 4DB. Copy of the application form submitted by the applicant is attached to the report at Appendix 1. A copy of the existing premises licence is also attached to the report at Appendix 2. In January, an application was received from Crown Service Station Limited for the variation of a premises licence. The application contained all requisite documentation, including the fee. It can be confirmed that the application has been advertised in accordance with the requirements of the Licensing Act 2003 and associated regulations, that the application has also been served on all responsible authorities. The applicant is applying for the following variations to their existing licence: extending the hours of the sale of alcohol from Monday to Sunday for 24 hours and remove all seasonal variations. The application received no objections for any of the responsible authorities, but we have received a total of 8 objections from members of the public. These objections vary, but mainly centre around concerns for public nuisance, prevention of crime and disorder, and protection of children from harm. Some residents' concerns include the increase in noise and light pollution. Residents also have concerns that there will be a rise in antisocial behaviour. They also have concerns that there will be an increased amount of traffic on the road if the application is granted. The objections that have been received have been attached to this report at Appendix 3. Subcommittee have regard to the Council's statement of licensing policy under the Licensing Act 2003. The subcommittee is obliged to determine this application with a view to promotion of the licensing objectives, which are the prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, the prevention of public nuisance, and the protection of children from harm. The subcommittee must take such of the following steps as it considers appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives, and that is grant the application as requested, modify the conditions of the licence by altering or omitting or adding to them, or reject the application in whole or in part. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. So I presume you're here to speak on behalf of the applicant. Before we go into asking you questions, is there anything else you would like to add to the application, anything you want to tell us, particularly if there's anything you'd like to say in response to the objections? Oh, and could you just give your names before you speak, so just that we have that for the records?
Thank you, Chair. My name is Naga Rajesh. I'm a business consultant representing my client. We have no additional information and we have no objection to the report. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Presumably you are the client. If you,
no, I'm the DBS person. My name is Surya Teja Nalamotu. Yeah, I'm the DBS person.
Okay, in that case, we'll go into questions. Either of you have questions you wish to ask?
Carry on and
yeah.
Thank you. You took over the business in January, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, Chair.
And at the moment, the opening hours are up until 10:30, I believe, or is it 11 o'clock on a particular day?
At present, we are opening at, we close at 8 o'clock, and sometimes we close at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Okay. And what time do you open? 10 o'clock. Okay. And what time do you close? 5 o'clock. Okay. And
But we have the 24 hours license, I mean, to open, but we are not opening.
Okay, so why aren't you already opening the extended hours?
No, we plan to open 24 hours.
So, is there any reason why you feel that you need to sell alcohol right up to 24/7?
That's the old, what you call the old landlord who is running the site. He was still in the premises. He was looking after the business still. So he was coming and closing, opening and closing. So at present we taken over all the control, everything from him. So we decided to do it from this week onwards.
Sorry, I'm a little confused. So you currently open to sell petrol between what hours?
Sorry, can I clarify that?
Yes, please,
Chair?
yes.
Sorry. Yeah, the current license is very limited hours. I believe currently we have 8 p.m. Alcohol license.
We're just wondering about the petrol side of
Yes.
things at the moment.
Yes. So the petrol stations open till 8 p.m. On a weekdays. On some weekends, he close at 10 o'clock. But the extra 2 hours, they don't sell alcohol. It's just the petrol. What he was referring, I think, is there is no planning restrictions on the premises to open 24 hours. So currently, the premises can trade 24 hours, but definitely not the alcohol. Yeah, alcohol stops at 8 p.m.
And are you planning then to open the petrol station 24 hours in future?
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
Most of the business that you do you have any idea whether it's local or passing trade? Oh, right.
Yeah, this is part of the thing I'm trying to give about the background of the premises, about the company during my presentation, Councillor. But since you asked me, we do have a number of sites across the country, and almost all of them are 24/7 licensed venues. That's not just within the borough, but I don't think we have anything within the borough, but we have nearly 15 to 20 sites across the country. Almost all of them are 24/7 licensed premises.
Well, according to the licence, I can see that you can, in fact, serve alcohol to 2,300 hours. And as you're the licence holder, will you be on the premises after 2,300 every day?
The premises is still, it's a new premises for them, Councillor. We have to do some small-scale renovation, and we need to find the right team. So he's one of our area manager. He's currently looking after the premises, and he is the DPS. The license holder is our limited company. So once we get the full staff and they are fully trained, the local management team in place, then he might stay as a DPS, or he might be transfer the DPS to the whoever on the premises most of the time. So if the license granted today, it's not the DPS is going to be on the premises 24/7. It's impossible. DPS will be there most of the time. When I say most of the time, 5 days or more, and the rest of the time, as a company, we always have like proper documented authorized person on the premises all the time. It is part of the management training and our training program. So there will be a responsible person on the premises at any point of time.
Do you have any current knowledge of what the amount of traffic you would have after 12:30 or after 10:30, for example, in that area compared to your other sites?
It's limited. It is limited. We do have significant traffic on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, from the conversation I had with the team, but we don't have because we are not fully there late hours, because we close early, so we don't have a 100% clear picture about what sort of traffic after 10 or 11 o'clock.
Obviously, at the moment, the garage isn't running 24/7. If we didn't grant the license change, would you still want the garage to run 24/7, even though you wouldn't be able to sell alcohol 24/7?
Yes, Councillor.
Would it be fair to say that you want these extended hours to see what the market is? Is that a fair assumption, or is this just because you operate all your sites like this, you don't see any reason not to operate this site in the same way?
Couple of main reasons, Councillor. I just wanted to clarify my position with the business. I'm not just the business consultant just for this application. I work with this company nearly 6 years, and I represent them for all the boroughs and all the license applications. So I know a little bit about the operating patterns and the management structure. So yes, couple of reasons. We have all the sites, and we have the management structure, training program to operate 24/7 in all other sites. And the second reason is it's a safety under the crime and disorder. Rather than closing the premises late at night and leave it there, someone is there 24/7. It's a safe, not only for the site, for the area as well. We have CCTV running, someone is there keeping an eye on it. So it's always a safer practice for us to keep the premises operating 24/7. Even some areas, in some remote areas, is always vulnerable for break-ins or anything. Someone is there all the time. So it's for, as a company, we in the past we thought that we have seen the benefit of keeping it without undermining the licensing objective, of course. So yeah, that's two reasons, just for the business and for the safety for everybody.
So how typical is this site compared to your other sites?
We have similar sites, similar sort of environment. We have nearly 6 sites in Wales, remote areas, middle of the residency, and even in some busy areas in Birmingham as well. So we have sites in all sort of places. So it's not something new to us. When I say the new to us, just the environment is not new to us.
How many sites do you actually have?
I'm not sure top of my head exactly, but it's between 15 and 20 under Crown Services Limited.
Yeah, I mean, although we haven't had an application from you to address the committee, if you wanted to say anything, then now would be the time to say it. Can you just give your name first before you are? Okay, thank you. Right. Any further questions?
Sorry, through you, Chair. I don't know if it'd be beneficial. Will people have access to the shop, or will it be served through a kiosk? How will it be operated? I think is a good thing to explain to members and
Yes,
and the objectors and.
That's a very good point. We have a mixed approach. Most of the time, we prefer to take people into the shop to serve them. So it's depending on the environment and the site from our past experience. Sometimes serving through the hatch can be looked into like a bad practice as well. It's just chucking all the problems to the street and just stay behind the glasses. We always trying to make sure we are serving the right product to the right person. So sometimes it's beneficial for us to bring the customer in and judge the person and do the service. And in some situation where the busy sites, we serve it through the hatch. So this is something, I mean, if there's a condition you want to put on the license, we are happy to do that. But as a company policy is something we see how it goes, and we employ we put the right measures in place based on the environment. Yeah, so, but we are happy to take any measures with regarding to serving to the customers after certain hours. We are happy to do that.
Just one final question. Have you had any issues or complaints with respect to your other sites in similar areas?
No, Chair. Because especially in rural areas, we do develop a relationship with the local community. End of the day, we rely on them fully. So we haven't had any issues. I just wanted to add something I listed on my presentation, but since you raised this question, Chair, I just wanted to add, we do take some extra measures to promote the licensing objectives, such as avoid the nuisance and the noise pollution, the lighting pollution. We don't normally, in a rural sites like this, we don't normally put like a loudspeaker on the top of the forecourt. Most of the petrol stations have. We don't do that, especially in a rural area. We normally have a tannoy system on the pump, the volume control. It can be adjust the level of the sound, and that's only audible in a meter or meter and a half. So we do go for that sort of customized measures to promote the licensing objectives to respect our immediate neighbors. So yes, we work very well with all the local residents, especially in remote areas like this. So we never had any issues in the past.
Just a question. Is there a facility at the moment, and are you going to keep the facility that if when you're closed, people can still access petrol by paying by card?
Not at the moment. It's not available on the pump.
Are you thinking of putting it in?
Okay, well, I think we've asked all the questions that we can think of to ask. Is there anything that you'd like to say before we consider this?
Yes, Chair. I got a few things to present. I've already explained the structure, the Crown Service Limited. We have a management, multiple tiers of management. So the premises is not going to be just rely on one person. We have a multiple levels of management. So we have an area manager, site manager. We have a trained team is going to be there. When we made the application, Chair, we put forward a number of conditions on our applications, staff training, CCTV, Challenge 25 to promote all the licensing objectives. This is not the only conditions. We have a list of conditions put forward when we made the application. These are, I just want to stress, these are not being imposed on us by any responsible authority. It's just we put forward when we made the application. And Chair, this is significant investment for this company. We have to do some renovations. We have to put still more money into that just to make the site safe and secure for everybody. So we're not going to jeopardize any of our investment, and that's not our intention by undermining any licensing objectives, Chair. It's not even like a convenience store. It's a small-scale shop with a petrol station, so the alcohol is going to be only a small part of the product lines. We are not going to have multiple varieties of alcohol, same like any other convenience store. So it's going to be a small portion in our whole shop floor, Chair, but again, it's a convenience store with a petrol station. We haven't had any representation from any responsible authorities, Chair. We do have objections from the local residents. We do respect those concerns. We are not undermining any of their concerns. We would like to say this. When I go through the representations, the main concerns raised are crime and disorder. That was the first concerns raised by the residents, Chair. As a company, we always go extra mile to comply with the licensing objectives because we are a big company and we don't want our name to be come up in any media for wrong reason. So we take every measures to promote the licensing objective, Chair, and I would like to say that the police are happy with this proposal. They are the responsible authority, have the expertise to make comments on crime and disorder with the right information. I do respect their concerns, but the police have the right information to make an impartial comments regarding the crime and disorder, Chair. Just to remind the committee that's Home Office Guidance Section 182 Licensing Act 2003 clearly states 2.1, the licensing authority should look to the police as the main source of advice on crime and disorder. They should also seek to involve local community partnership if there is any concern. So police are happy with this application as it stands. As I previously mentioned, Chair, there's going to be a person on the site when we open 24/7. The CCTV will be rolling, the lights on, person is there, so it's going to be a deterrent for any sort of crime and disorder. The second concern raised by the residents is under child protection, Chair. We do have lots of measures put forward with this application to promote the licensing objective, protecting children from harm. As a company, protecting children, we take as a serious matter. We have EPOS terminals. The tills has a till prompt every time when our staff trying to sell any age-restricted product. It will remind them to check the IDs. This is on top of the training we provide to all the staff. We have a Challenge 25 policy, signs and procedures, staff trainings, all the refusals, incidents recorded can be inspected anytime. These are our license conditions. We have to stick with that. And also, Chair, I just want to point out the second section is 9.43, again, Section 182, Licensing Act 2003. The authority's determination should be evidence-based, justified as being appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objective, and proportionate to what is intended to achieve. Again, without undermining any concerns and with great respect to the neighbors, there is no evidence provided against this application today. I appreciate this is a new management. We don't have any history on this site, but there's no other evidence submitted in front of you today in relation to crime and disorder or any other matters. The third concern, Chair, the noise nuisance and the traffic issues. Chair, this site is a retail unit. Currently, there is no restriction to open 24 hours. So currently, the premises has a planning permission to open 24 hours. So regarding the traffic's number of people, footfall, everything is being assessed under the planning legislation, and there is no concerns. This application is just for the alcohol license. So there is no evidence against this proposal, Chair. So again, 10.15, Section 182, it clearly says the shops, stores, and supermarket should normally be free to provide sale of alcohol for consumption off the premises at any time the retail outlet is open for shopping, unless there is a good reasons based on the licensing objective for restricting these hours, Chair. So we have right planning permission to open 24 hours, and we have all the measures to promote licensing objectives, Chair. Therefore, this proposal shouldn't undermine the licensing objectives. Again, Chair, this is not a special policy area. It's not a nightclub. We're not going to allow, we're not going to kick out people, drunk people. This is just the regular customers who come for petrol and some shopping. And also, it's a forecourt area. We can't allow anybody hanging around as well for safety reasons. A vehicle comes in and out. So under the petroleum license, we have to keep the area clean as well. Finally, Chair, the Licensing Act 2003 has an opportunity for review if anything goes wrong. Not only the responsible authorities, the residents also have the powers to review our license at any time. It's a quick process. We do have license conditions which makes them easier to review our license if anything goes wrong in the future. So under these circumstances, without any evidence, without any objection from the responsible authorities, Chair, this application should be granted. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. In that case, we will go into a session to discuss this now, so I'm going to ask you all to leave us while we discuss this. decided to grant the application to vary the premises licence as requested, with no modifications to the request. I would point out, obviously, that this is subject to review should there be any complaints. For the benefit of the objectors, I'd point out that this is very much consistent with the current legislation and position. The petrol station already has the right to open 24/7 should the operators want it to. Nothing that we decide today can affect that. The legislation does state that where a business is allowed to operate 24/7, then the default position should be that it should be allowed a premises license for the same opening hours, and we see no, unless there is a good reason to alter that, and we see no reason to alter that from what we've heard today. But again, I would stress that any complaints that are made will be taken seriously and could lead to a review. But thank you all for coming anyway.